you in our GFU studio. This is the place where we make sense of what's happening in the world. My name is Bea Benkova. I'm the founder and CEO of the Global Institute for Evolving Women, which we call GFU. And I'm really excited to have a conversation with our great leaders in GFU as well about the amazing summit that we are putting on for all the evolutionary women all around the world this Wednesday, 30 March at 4 p.m. UK time. It's going to be a half-a-day summit. And as you know, we created it as a summit, so it's a live space. Is it going to be live? It's going to be interactive. We're going to have great speakers to lead us in the inquiry of what's happening in the world. So we did call this summit Reigniting Our Power, our authentic power as women, and turning adversity into peace. I don't think there is pretty much anyone who is conscious on the planet who doesn't know what's happening in the planet between Ukraine and Russia. But it's not only about what's happening between Russia and Ukraine. This is what's happening to our humanity. This is what's happening to our, us being humans. This is a huge global crisis, humanitarian security crisis. And for the last month, we, as probably everyone else in the planet, were trying to make sense of everything. First, what's happening? Why is it happening? What is the source of what's happening? What are the ramifications? And we felt frozen, we felt like touched and heartbroken personally. Me, I didn't know what to do. Then I went into action. But more and more, we're really trying to make sense of it and really reignite our power. And really the conversation is, what is the evolutionary response to this crisis? What is this crisis on top of all the previous crises that have been happening? The economic crisis that woke us up. Then we had the environmental crisis. Are we listening as humanity? And then we had the COVID crisis that really showed us there are no borders, can get everywhere. We are all one. We're all connected. We cannot run for each other. We are an interdependent world, really connected. And now we have a global security crisis. So what is this telling us? What is the evolutionary response to all of this? And when we say we want to reignite our authentic power as women, evolutionary women 5.0, what does that mean? Where are we going? What should we be doing? What does it look like? So on this summit, we invited great evolution leaders to have the conversation with us, give us their perception, give us their insights so we can really come together and reflect together. We're going to have Lynn Twist, who is the co-founder of Pachamama Alliance and the founder of the Soul of Money Institute. She is, for me, one of the most inspirational evolution leaders and women on the planet. Then we have Jim Garrison, who will be directly with Michael Gorbachev, and at his behest, founded the Gorbachev Foundation USA and created the State of the Forum in San Francisco. We're going to have Vigma Raj and Sandra Castor-Buffington and many women all around the world coming together. So I have here our 4 leaders in GFN conversation that I also want to have the conversation with and really to share with you why you're excited about the summit and why is it important for you to be there yourself. And what do you see for women in your life? Why should they be there with us? And why is that important that we engage in this dialogue? So Carol, how about for you? Why is that important for you?
I'm so excited and motivated to be in the experience of Wednesday because it's active. It is a place where I am going to hear other perspectives and also historical context. And I'm going to find myself inside of that new information that I'm going to hear. And then I will have an opportunity to be in conversation with other women who are feeling and a deep feeling and deep thinking women who want to make sense of this new knowledge and this new landscape so that it lands in our own experience and that we can grow in our understanding intellectually, but also feeling wise. And it's when we connect those two together in our conversations with others that newness emerges. I'm coming to the summit with an intention to be very, very curious and open and start connecting the dots, because it's when we connect the dots and we can rise up above and land that inspiration into action with others that we make the biggest impact. So the summit for me is, as you say, that place to learn and a place to work on something together. that comes from deep listening and deep feeling. But first of all, we also need to understand the complexity of the situation. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Welcome. Well, thank you. I really resonate what we're saying is really thinking and feeling and understanding the complexity, then were the solutions, right? Or the ways forward, really. And this is really for us as evolutionary women to empower us as effective stand takers. Be really clear what our standards and then keep standing for them, right? Okay, thank you. Martina, how about for you? You dialing in our studio from Czech Republic. So it's great to see you, your perspective, because as someone who is Slovakian, I'm right now in Slovakia, I can really feel the energy and the turmoil is here. So how has it been for you? And what's your perspective? Why is it important for you to be at the summit?
Oh, it's great. Hello to everyone. And I really have to, and I resonate with what Carol said. And maybe what I resonate with is a word complexity, because we all feel that all this situation is very complex, and we are trying our best to find, our way, how to take it, what to feel, how to react, what to do, how to help, how to stay in our power. So for me, it's really something like active, maybe starting line of some conversation. Maybe just also feel where is my center, what I'm interested in to do, where I really want to focus on, where to pay attention. Maybe for some people, it's like starting like of some changes. And let's say what I would like to do, or I'm really involved in, is really to help to everyone, each woman, to find the harmony, find the center, and to know where is our where our strengths and talents are coming from. Because I pretty believe that when if we stay in our inner peace, then we can be rationalistic, and we can just see things the right way and feel the right way. Because when we are in panic, we are stressed, we are trying to do a lot of actions, it doesn't make sense at all. So, let's also start all this conversation with feeling like, okay, what's important for me, who I am, what I really feel, and where I want to guide myself, where I want to guide my kids, my family, my community, what's really important. Because when we find our like inner strength and peace, we can spread our potential, more and more into this world. So maybe the question is where to start with this complexity. And I pretty
Yeah.
believe it's in ourselves, you know.
Yeah, I think it's connecting both, right?
Yeah,
Understanding the outside and then
yeah,
really going from the inside. Because if we stand for peace, wherever we are not at peace, we need to go in and work on, right? Where we're
exactly.
not at peace in our relationship,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah,
this is really the
yeah,
integrity of the inner and outer. If we understand that we need to include everyone in dialogues, right, to solve this
exactly.
situation, then where are we not including everyone in our life to have a dialogue, right? So it's already in multiple layers. And I think it's important to understand all the layers. Olenka, how about for you? Why are you excited? I'm assuming you're excited about the summit, or why are you looking forward? And what you're picking up from women in your life? Why they're looking forward?
Absolutely, absolutely. Women are caregivers, and women are also actors, as in action oriented. And so I think that this summit, as Carol and Martina have said, and you yourself, Bea, is the opportunity to understand things more deeply so that we can come from that place of caring and purpose ourselves in a way that is useful to everyone. Uh, of course, I have a particular interest in the situation between Ukraine and Russia, the hopefully a peaceful ending that will draw soon to a close, because it's a challenge to many of our values, our democratic values, our belief in the principles of democracy. Are we still together? Are we?
Yeah, we are still together.
Good.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure. Yeah. So what I've been thinking about is how you can come to the summit. Come to the summit in being sort of prepared to talk, prepared to listen, prepared to learn, and then to use that time to generate ideas, to discuss and share, and maybe to come out with some action. And that action is actively living peace. Actively living peace, talking with your own family about the situation, talking with your friends about the current threats, but also finding a way to balance yourself and your place in the world, and feeling like you can take action and make contributions. So I'm looking forward.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I noticed that women who are joining our Jiffy Women group, and if you're not in our Facebook group, we invite you to join us. And as you're listening to this broadcast, just you can reflect to us. We can see your comments. So if you have any questions, you can ask us now through the comments below the stream. Many more women I noticed are joining our Jiffy Free Facebook group, Jiffy Women Together We Rise. And they're saying, I want to develop my voice. I want to believe I have something of value to speak into the world. I want to trust myself more. Like what's happening in the world matters to me. What happens to my community, society, different circles. And I want to trust myself to speak up more. So what's your view on that? Do we have Ilana still here? I think we might have lost her, right? At the same time. Okay, well, we'll wait for her to come back. Carol, how is that for you, that experience of women really developing, like having this feeling we want to express ourselves, we don't always believe that what we have to say is valuable, is going to make an impact. So I think it comes from the inner to the outside. And all of you, ambassadors of the summit, we are calling ourselves voices. So you are the summit voices because you're speaking up and you're sharing and you're speaking with your women and then leading them together to speak up. What's your view on that?
My view is that is really essential. It is the heart and the core of transformation. And inside of Jiffy Space, what happens in our educational programs and also in our public gatherings and our engagement is the opportunity always to find ourselves inside of the space we're in and value finding ourselves, finding value, finding that voice, that feeling, that idea that's bubbling up and emerging. And so this summit in particular, because we are building in all of the interactivity, is actually a full expression of what happens inside of Jiffy community, Jiffy space, Jiffy education. It is about as women being in a place with other women to actually value and appreciate the differences and see each other, learn how to listen and be together from different perspectives without competition, because really there is space for everyone. And that's one of the things that links so clearly back to Olenka's sharing about democratic values, because democratic values come from the honoring of the individual inside of the collective.
Mm.
And I really believe that evolutionary consciousness is valuing that and the interactivity between the individual and the collective, and knowing that that's actually how we evolve when we're fully engaged in that process.
Yeah, well, thank you, Carol. And I just shared a quote from Olin Albright. What a great stateswoman she has been, and she unfortunately died last week, but this is her famous quote, which she said, I think, to 2010 to Huffington Post. She said, it took me quite a long time to develop a voice, and now that I have it, I'm not going to be silent. So I think this is what this is telling me, and I get goosebumps. This is all of us developing ourselves. She did say it took her a long time to develop, right? So it was a journey. We're not just born in this current culture, right? of conditioning and society conditioning. It's not like we are born. We are free when we're very small, and then we grow up, right? And then we are squashed. So it takes immense commitment and development to develop our voice. And now that we have it, I'm not going and to do it together as a collective voice. That's who we are, and that's what we stand for together in GFuse. So thank you, Carol. Thank you, Alenka. Would you like to elaborate on a voice and collective and individual and democracy? I found it an interesting point.
Yeah, I think that, Carol, that was beautifully stated, how you blend as an individual into a collective. So in democracy, for example, something that's sometimes difficult is to be on the losing side, right, of a vote. For example, your political party doesn't win, or your position isn't accepted by the group. But those are the moments that bring us the opportunities to build our character and to actually recognize that there are multiple voices and that there is value in every way that we move forward. And peace is actually based on that ability to accept the other's voice in some kind of a way that we can continue the dialogue. So I hope that what the summit will bring is a number of different voices so that we can hear those different perspectives. GFU members are located all around the world. These women will bring these different perspectives. What an opportunity to grow and learn and blend voices. So I think that's all part of democracy. Democracy is a process. It's not just a state, right? It's a process of constantly being open to that engagement, especially to people whose views are different from ours.
Yeah, great. And here is another quote as we can get, right? I got from Madeleine Albright, and I posted yesterday. It says, the real question is, who has the responsibility to uphold human rights? The answer is that everyone, me, you, her, all of us. This is not something we can abdicate. And I think what's been also happening in our society, we can get that, right? We became complacent. I personally took it for granted. I thought this is only going to get better, right? Being part of EU and everything was working. And yes, we had the environmental crisis, but it wasn't that evident. And then we experienced Brexit, and then we experienced Trump, right? And then we experienced COVID, and now we're experiencing things. So it's almost like every crisis, like a harsher and harsher, like going to say, when is it going to wake us up? And as Dalai Lama said, as a response to the conflict that started a month ago, he said, this is not about, it cannot be about the war. The 21st century, the 20th century was the century of war because we had 2 world wars. The 21st century has to be the century of a dialogue. And that's what you're pointing to, right, Alenka? And that's what I found very interesting. So, Martina, anything you would like to add to this conversation that we are having?
I just like to add, when I'm listening you, the word synergy is coming to me. And always when it's like collective energy and synergy, it's just, I'm going to be passionate about so much, because I pretty believe that uniqueness of each of us, weaknesses, strength, everybody, when it's coming up to in collective energy, we can work on it, because no one can do anything only just by ourselves, So this is just I want to add, just to be curious, be respectful, listen to others, like actively listen. What's going on inside of me, the peace you mentioned, what's going on in my community, in the groups I am involved in, what's going on in the world, just to feel these waves. And then we can talk, then the dialogue can be alive. This is just what I want to add maybe at this point.
Okay. Well, thank you. So before we complete our conversation today, our GFuse Studio broadcast, I have an invitation. What would be your message to women all around the world who are watching this, who are thinking, shall I come on Wednesday or shall I not? Why should they come? And what you invite them to, to bring? why should they be there with us on Wednesday? Women from your life, from your community, but women you don't know as well, but they're watching now, or they're going to be sharing about this. Carol.
I would say come because you will receive new information. You will learn, and you will have a place to start to digest and explore what you're learning.
Okay, great. Martina?
And my word is come. We encourage you to come with courage and with curiosity and bring new perceptions. Bring your voice into this conversation.
Okay, wonderful. Olenka?
And I would say to come, of course, as Carol and Martina have said, with seeking information and with courage, but also to grow your confidence with more information that will allow you to take a stand. I think one of the biggest challenges we have in a very diverse and inclusive group is to take a stand. We don't want to offend anyone, but sometimes there is something that is more right than something else. And it takes more courage, confidence to be able to take that stand. So come with the desire to grow your confidence and to become more informed, to take that stand for whatever it is you believe so strongly in.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. And here is my invitation. I'm going to complete this studio broadcast with a quote from Mikhail Gorbachev that is actually on his foundation. I found it there yesterday and I was thinking, how come I haven't seen this before? But, there is always time for things. I'm going to also show it here to the broadcast. And this is the quote. The 21st century will be a century either of total all-embracing crisis or of moral and spiritual healing that will reinvigorate humankind. It is my conviction that all of us, all reasonable political leaders, all spiritual and ideological movement, all faiths, must help in this transition to a triumph of humanism and justice, in making the 21st century a century of a new human renaissance. And that's I invite everyone to come, because this is our century. This is us. And what I get, we are the ones. There is no one else living on this planet. It's only the people that are living. This is the time. Our souls incarnated for this time, not 100 years ago, not 100 later. So there is a reason why we came the way we came. And for me, healing is about divine feminine. So for me, about reignite our power, this is reignite our true divine feminine, and bring the healing, bring the space for dialogue, for peace, for really the evolutionary. We are the evolutionary on the planet. And this is where we can be or need to be the catalyst for humanity to take that leap. So that's invitation from us. Thank you all for being such great voices and players in this space. And ladies all around the world who are listening to us, don't hesitate about this StreamYard, about this stream. There is a link directly to the summit. Once you join the summit, you can come into our Facebook group where all the conversation is happening as well already now. So you don't even have to wait till Wednesday. So have a great day. Be yourself. Life is now and life is urgent. And join us now and see you on Wednesday. Bye.